Hello, everyone, and welcome to this series. And today we have a fantastic guest, as always, and we are going to learn something about Tibor. All right, so if you're looking to save money when you're on a hyperscaler, probably Tibor would be your option. So, Tibor, welcome to the series, and thank you for being a part of it in such a short notice.
Yes, thanks a lot. I'm very happy to be here.
Tibor, let's talk about you as a person. So, where are you based at the moment?
I'm based in Germany, close to Düsseldorf, living here with my family, three kids, actually three boys. So always a lot of noise in the house. And yeah, just going back a bit in my history, I've been working in the consulting industry for nearly 20 years now, more than a decade. I've been working in system decommissioning. So what you already mentioned, we've been helping companies to enable the shutdown of the legacy estates. And yeah, that's what I've been working on for quite some time now.
So what got you into this style of work or this as a career of choice?
I must say, like most of the things in life, it was by accident. I was working for a big system integrator, and they started a unit where they asked me if I didn't want to build this. And yeah, I took over that challenge. That was in 2012. So started there, built up the whole business. Back then, it was really an area where there's not many people on many companies offering this kind of service where we would take over data, store it for the companies, make it accessible, and help them they can there. But it was a lot of experience gained there building this whole market because lots of the customers we talk to is like, hey, why should I do that? Is shutting down or decommissioning is not really the vocabulary of any people or any person working in the IT industry. It's more we build something new and we build more. So it was always the other direction. But over the years, I believe that changed a lot, and a lot of companies now take this as a real opportunity to. I always like to refer to it as clean up or clean their basement. So all the historical stuff they need to move out, especially with all those aspects that came in the clouds, moving to the cloud where you can't just take old applications too. So that was a barrier. Then the cost, the effort you need to put into it, and also the risk that come with running all these applications where they are out of support, out of maintenance, and where you just don't get starting with hardware components. Some of the customers we work with, they told us their best supplier for hardware components is eBay.
So when we look at what you do, it's quite unique. You literally help clients shut down their old legacy systems, and there is reasons for it. So as you say, for those of us who grew up in the, I would say, in the early 2000s in the IT, like this is a completely new idea. So you build IT systems, you rarely shut it down. With the invent of FinOps and other things that come in, especially with the hyperscale clouds, you're trying to keep the costs down. So in your experience, what are the main reasons other than the cost that clients prefer to shut down systems?
I mean, besides the cost, it starts on hand compliance. So you ensure that all your data, your historical data is still available. And if there's anything, I mean, starting with tax audits, you need to be able to present the data, but it can go into product liability issues or there's litigations ongoing where you just need to be able to provide data. And I think that became more and more prominent, especially with also the growing amount of data that we just keep. So from the compliance perspective, through the costing, which we already discussed, over to the risk of it, where we just got to see that running old legacy estates is a challenge, first of all, and there's also a lot of risk associated to it because you might reach the point where we just kept the system and we just gonna start it up when we need it, but then suddenly you can't start it up anymore, and that gets you into quite some issues because then, and now we can close the circle back to compliance, you can't fulfill your compliance reasons and data, and that then gets you back to the financial aspect where if it comes to tax authorities, they might just say, okay, I'll just estimate whatever data I assume you had, because you can't provide me any tangible data. Or you end up with scenarios where you have ongoing litigations and you need to provide product data which you can't provide, and that also puts you into a bad spot, which also might open up the doors for high fines, and again, another financial impact. Even though we don't really like to talk about all those, hey, there's financial risk, there's risk in general, and all of this compliance, we also like to put it, just take the opportunity to clear out your estate, to get rid of all the historical stuff which has no business value at. It's just you need to keep the data. But then again, if I talk to people who run data centers or who manage those applications, for them it's always this nagging bit at the back of their mind. It's like, hey, I still gotta make sure this is running and this gotta be accessible, and it just drains energy, and they don't see the value add. And you take away that pain, you free up so many resources, not only in terms of money, but also mentally and human resources, where people can focus on the new and the value add to a company. So rather than talking about all the risks, we also like to talk about the opportunities that cleaning up gives you. And one comparison I love to make is compare it to cleaning up your basement. Nobody loves to go down to the basement to clean it up, because you store everything from the past, and who likes to clean it up? But once you've done it, you normally feel much better, and there's this feeling of relief, and you can see, now I've got a tidy basement, which also gives you a good feeling. And that's why I try to make it comparable about how you feel.
This is really good, right? So, and coming to your company now, so you started the company because you had a vision and you can see the market actually needs it. So what was the vision that led you to that?
The vision was, obviously, one is there is a huge market and there's a huge potential where we can help customers to really clean out their estate and focus on what is necessary and what is the value driver and value add for their business. And why we started ourselves, there's another two partners, was we all have been working in big corporations, and we felt the constraints and the limitations you have working in there. And that's why we said, okay, we all believed we can do it differently. And that's why we started our own business and tried to run it our own way. And so far, so good. So far, all happy customers, and also for us, it feels quite good to do it by ourselves, running our own business in comparison. And I think lots of people can relate to who've been working in big corporations, what the constraints might be and how that feels from time to time.
And that's the beauty of this community, right? So most of us in the ERP community have one time been a part of a big business, and then we find the need in the client in a very specific area, and we believe we can contribute better as a community in our areas of choice, and that is why we do what we do. And your business is kind of very unique, very, very unique in the sense you really help people save a lot of money, tons of money, and as you say, it's more than money, freeing up the energy, freeing up the the space to be able to do anything. So giving a garage example, use what is built for to park a car, so or work on a car or something like that. So use that for that specific reason. So with your business, and you have grown quite a lot. So what type of clients do you serve? So what industries are you very relevant or known for?
So in terms of industry, starting there, we are more or less agnostic. So industry, we've got no limitations, because in the end, it's data, and data needs to be kept. And I mean, if you take accounting, if it's the chemical industry, automotive industry, even the public sector, normally accounting is all the same. So for us, it's the data we need to keep, and we need to make it visible again. So that doesn't limit us in terms of industries. But in terms of the size of corporations, it's like normally we more in the upper mid-market and the corporation, the world of corporations, because those are the companies that have normally more than one big ERP system. They introduce more ERP systems. Smaller companies, we learned they're a bit more hands-on. They've got different approaches. I think it's more like we just keep the old system and we see how we can work with that. Where bigger corporations or bigger companies, they not only have one system, they've got multiple systems. We worked with customers that had double-digit, close to 100 systems. They had post-productive in their estate and they want to shut down, or they shut down over the time. And that's the market where we are looking into, and which are the companies we are working with, where they have multiple systems. Because the way we offer our service, it's a platform, and there's the big advantage. We can take the data from multiple systems, move it onto one platform instead of running multiple individual systems, which might lead me to another point of advantages in nowadays discussions. We also have to reduce the carbon footprint. Again, with this example, you don't have to run multiple systems. You've got all your data on one system, so you only need one application instead of 10, 20, 30, or 40. So another positive green aspect, fitting in lots of corporates' agendas, also helping to achieve those systems of reducing their carbon footprint.
And you're making a very important point, right? So carbon footprint, a lot of us take for granted. So all these systems that are not needed, but it's running, it's costing us in terms of environment. So someone's paying the price. So that's something we all need to be really careful of and be mindful of as we make decisions. So we know how precious our environment is. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you consider that there are some studies where they say it's like on average there's 15% of the IT budget is spent on legacy, but legacy in terms of productive IT. So 15%, if we take the relation, 15% of what is spent now, let's say 15% of the emissions generated. It might be a bit less, but it's a huge number nevertheless.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the potential. So not only financially, but also protecting the environment.
Oh, it is significant because when we look at it, this is something in our control that we can manage. So now, how can our community contact you?
Via our homepage, or contact us directly through email or via LinkedIn. I would say very approachable. We're not afraid or shy to reach out, and again, very much looking forward to reach out to either new partners or customers who are interested in cleaning out their estates and taking all the advantages we can offer.
Thank you for giving us this beautiful time and sharing what you do. And what you do is very beautiful. You are doing something, I would say, very important and very practical for the organization, but sometimes last in the list. But we would hope that things change, and this is one thing that we all continue to work together and make our environments the right size and make sure we take care of our legacy systems. And thank you, Tibor.
Perfect. Thank you, Judith. It was great having this conversation with you and having the chance to share this as well.
Thank you.